Oh, hazelnuts.
See, John, you're well known for your I see the lumber gives you a bit of wood, and you have Hooters as well. It's a absolutely lovely logo.
I love them.
Just one more chance. Count to 10.
Paddy Connolly.
Count to 10.
Yeah.
Count to 10.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is
My
that
dad,
all?
he sent his son to the Jesuits. Eh?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you keep your complexion so in such good condition? Like your face, it's absolutely smooth and wonderful.
I have to polish my head.
People like you and me, Park, over the years, we've tried many diets. Which one has been your favourite?
The seafood diet, I think, is the best. See it, eat it.
Come on. And is it true that you're paid in sandwiches?
Sandwiches and curries. Big
Love you too.
John, it's my brother's wedding in Prague next week. I believe it's 39 degrees. Where did you get that amazing suit?
It wasn't in Prague.
Michael Murphy, you've been a Golf Ireland photographer now for 27 years. You've moved from the throwaway cameras to the new technology. Well, Jasper, how's your year been?
I would say this has been a great year. Not only my golf game is coming about, but I did something this summer I'd never done before. I took two months off this summer. I did a Litsky summer, you know, where I didn't play any golf, spent the whole summer with my family. We went on vacation without the golf clubs, which was an unbelievable feeling just to check in at the airport without golf clubs. So it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I did things that we always had to say no to, because summer is the busiest time of the year for us. We have all the majors and all that. I mean, I even turned British Open down, which is one of my favorite tournaments. So I just love this summer. It was probably the best summer I've had since I was about 13, you know, because after that I pretty much play golf every day all summer long.
Why did you take the break?
You know, golf is a very tough game, and sometimes, you know, you can battle it out really, but when you try to start forcing things too much, you know, it backfires. And golf is such a weird game, so I just said, hey, I surrender, I give up, you know, you win, I'm going to take 2 months off, see what happens, you know, I'm tired of fighting you. And it worked out. I mean, I'm playing a lot better now, and sometimes that's the key. You just got to let it go, because sometimes you just beat your head against the wall and it doesn't work.
Will you do the same next year, maybe setting a trend?
I don't know. I mean, the summertime is where most people have their time off, and you know, we go back to Sweden in Europe, and you know, the kids love it. So it's just fun to spend time with the kids instead of the, you know, hour you can sneak in at 8 o'clock at night. You know, you can actually spend a full day with your kids. So it was something I haven't really done for a long time. So it was great. So it could definitely be something I'll do in the future.
Have you found that your priorities have changed as you're getting a bit old?
Yeah, I mean, wow, when your kids all of a sudden start getting to double digits and you go, what happened? You know, that's when you start realizing, you know, it only comes around once, and you know, I don't want to miss it. I want to be there and see them grow a little bit.
You've played all over the world. What's your favourite and why?
I mean, I love the St Andrews. British Open at St Andrews is one of my favorites, period. I mean, that's a golf course I just never get tired of playing. You know, you can get a new golf course every day depending on the wind, and it's playable in any type of weather, which I love. You know, you can have 50, 60 miles per hour winds and you can still play the golf course. And you know, it still stands up. You saw the British Open this year. You know, the scoring was not in the low 60s every day, like, you know, you would think of a course that's that old. But that's one of my favorites, yeah.
Sean, there's a lot more to the K Club than just the two championship golf courses.
Absolutely, Greg. You take the 2 golf courses away from here, you're left with one of the most beautiful estates in the world. Passionate about what I see here. If you take today, for example, every hour it changes. You have the River Liffey running through the property here, and in my opinion, it's a hidden treasure. Well, I'm close on 30 years working here prior to the last 9 owners now, and this owner I think will see me out. I came in here as a gardener, I'm going out as a fisherman. That's the way I wanted to do it.
Sean, you've been featured in the New York Times to as far as Tokyo today. How did all this fame start?
Well, all this fame started when I was a very young boy. I was born and reared really on the River Liffey. I was lucky that my father did a lot of fishing, and we were never allowed to go to school on a Friday because it was a fast day, and Friday was a day for fishing, and every day was Friday for me as far as I was concerned. So that's how it happened with me. On the guests today, it's got many a man into trouble, because the wives would say, well, at least the pub's closed at 12 o'clock if you're drinking when you're out fishing. There's no closure. You're just about to go home after 5 hours, 6 hours. You see a fish rising, or you hear a fish, it's darker. So you start at them again. And time, an hour is like a minute. And in all the guests we'd out fishing here, I'd have a question for them when we're finished. What were you thinking about? You say, God, you know, I don't know. And that's what fishing does for people.
Sean, you've had a lot of very high profile guests here, and many of them have become your friends.
Yes, one particular guy, Mark O'Meara, and he's for the last 10 years coming over to the K Club, passionate about Ireland, loves his fishing. And I was lucky enough to be guest of those guys in Augusta this year. When we came back in April, we went fishing for spring salmon, all fly fishing men. And I said if we got 15 for the week, I'd be very happy. We landed 78 spring fish. And that's what brings these high profile guys back. They're coming again now in a few days' time.
Have you any fisherman's tales to tell us?
Well, I've one great story, which is a true story. Most fishermen tell lies, or all liars fish, but this is a true story. I was at home one day on a Saturday, and I get this phone call to say there was a gentleman who wanted to go fishing. Of course, the usual thing, had my dinner, arrived at the front gate to find 6 or 7 guys, all about 25 years of age, crew cut, well dressed, put their hand up to start and asked me for identification. And of course, being Irish, identification in Ireland, you don't need it. And I said I didn't have it. I said, I'm going to take a guest fishing. Oh, we can't let you in. I said, I'm sorry, you have 2 choices now. Ring security on the gate, they'll explain who I am, or let me go. He said, no, we need the security to come down to identify you. And I said, you have 2 choices here. I got into the Jeep, they thought I was pulling in, and I drove off. And of course I had a clatter of fellas up after me, they were going to shoot me, going to lynch me. And I pulled up at the office as usual, and they got out and they started to have a go at me, and I said, look, I have a guy fishing. I said, I've no time for this. Didn't call it crap, but I said, I've no time for it. So they said, then you're taking Mr. Bush fishing. And of course it dropped with me then that Mark O'Meara had mentioned that he was sending George Bush on a fishing lesson when he was in Valderrama. And I remembered it then, and this guy says to me, you have to put an X, you have to stand here, I'll tell you how to address him. And I had to go back over and over and over again what I had to say to him. So I was waiting, and he said I'd give me a buzzer when I could go into the hotel reception. And I got the buzzer and I walked in, and this guy is standing at the top of the stairs, and he said, you must be Sean. I said, correct. He said, if I get the bullshit, let's go fishing. Right? So we went fishing, and I had to show these CIA guys where we were fishing, dressed them up as fishermen, and this guy that was giving me all the hassle as I thought it, he was only doing his job, said you've 1 hour, 2 o'clock to 3. So I was showing him how to flog, cast and roll cast and all these different casting. He was fascinated by the casting. So I eventually put on a fly about 10 to 3. We might catch a fish. So he caught a fish. Got a photograph taken. The head guy called me and said, you tell Mr. Bush his hour is up. So walking back to him, he catches a second fish. And of course I just forgot. And netted the fish. Guy called me over again. He says, did you tell Mr. Bush? I said, no. He said, why didn't you? I just didn't. I just kept walking back. And George Bush said to me, is that guy giving you trouble? I said, yeah. He said, would you tell that guy I'd cancelled my appointment till 6 o'clock? and he stayed with me fishing till 6 o'clock in the evening. That was my great story. Happy about it. The present to this very day, which is now 8 years on, I got a Christmas card at Christmas from him. He's never forgotten. He sent me a magnificent photograph of the two of us standing, wrote me a personal letter and said, I hope our paths will cross again. So please God, this year, that path is going to cross.
Sean, what is it about the K Club that people love so much?
Well, the K Club is not about golf. Like, I mean, anybody, I'm here since the K Club opened and well before it. And there's people to this day said, they know me as a fisherman. They don't know me as a fella that does the gardens and grounds and fishing and shooting and all that. And any time and every morning that I come in here, I drive up that avenue. There's a different colour. I see something different every day. And even though I'm working here every day, there's something different about it. So to me, there's something different. To the person that comes in off the street or from a different country, they see some magnificent views. The grounds and the gardens here are magnificent. Take the two golf courses out of it, you still have a beautiful place. The job, it's not a job for me, it's a passion. I'd start at 5 o'clock in the morning. Last night it was 12:15 and I finish it. I wouldn't look at a watch. It's a passion, it's something I have. I was probably born with it. I was lucky to have that passion for fishing and passion for gardening. Nature is what it's all about, and I love being close to nature. You come out of an early morning, you see the fox and the badger and the otters. That's what I look for in the morning, not a golf ball.
Sean, we've just had Ian Wisdom, the Ryder Cup captain, behind us. He looks like he's having a really good day. I believe you have a big occasion here in about 2 days.
Yeah, in about 2 years' time, you're looking up the river here and you'll see the top 30 golfers in the world will be fighting for their place in the River Liffey here. Someone will be saying, I hope I qualify, I want to go fishing tomorrow night. I want to make the cut. And it's something that's a natural thing to them. They've been coming for years. They all know where they're going to go, and they're saying, I hooked a big fish here last year, I'm going back to get him. And they'll spend absolute hours on that. You meet them the next morning, they tell you, terrific night's sleep. One thing it does, it relaxes you so much. Nothing matters. The golfing doesn't come on, they don't even talk about it. It's what size is the fish and how many I got. And that's, to me, that's life, that's living.
Sean, the River Liffey, it has a certain power running through the K Club.
Absolutely, and it's in my bones. I had a double tragedy a few years ago, and in the worst moments of my life, I take the rod and go to the river. I could spend 2 hours in it, or 6 hours in it. Coming away from that river, shortly after the tragedy with me, I'd be walking up the bank of the river and I'd say, how could I forget the tragedies? And that's what fishing does. That's life. Fishing is living.